Hello, my name is Adam Manuel, and in this video I'm going to briefly discuss the project that I chose for my research project, which is the Methodist Church. Considering I am a Methodist, I thought it would be a good practice, a good little exercise to see what it means to be truly a Methodist, see where I stand in comparison to the beliefs of a Methodist, and more specifically for this project, I'd like to see how the Methodist Church has evolved over time. So there has been countless events in the past that definitely did cause the Methodist Church to look at it and say, what should we do? Should we change our beliefs? Should we go against what was originally established by John and Charles Wesley? Those are just a few of the questions that they may have thought about when they were, as this time frame went by. So some of the areas that I am going to look at are the slave era after slavery and during slavery. So what changes did the Methodist Church have to make to accommodate African Americans, especially after slavery ended? How do these slaves, now freed African Americans, how did the Methodist Church accommodate them? Another thing that I would look at would be the development of science, and more specifically the idea of evolution, how that affected the Methodist Church, because during the late 1890s and into the 1920s, it definitely caused a big disturbance in the fundamental perspective. So if you could then take that and look specifically at the Methodist Church, it would be an interesting thing to see how the development of new scientific ideas affected the Methodist Church and what questions and changes they made there. Another thing that I would like to look at would be the attendance of churches and congregations, because, for example, in modern day, in some lower, more rural areas, churches are not being as attended as freely and as in high numbers as they were in the past, and that would be another thing, trying to look at and see if maybe events of society, economics, political, all kinds of things, how that has affected and maybe caused the decline in numbers of churches. I'd also like to look at the more modern idea that's definitely affecting the Methodist Church at this time, which is the idea of homosexuality, same-sex marriage, and where the Methodist Church stands on that issue, because I know about a year, maybe 2 years ago, there was a vote in the Methodist Church on whether they should approve of same-sex marriage, and if I'm not mistaken, they voted against it. So obviously homosexuality is still a strongly controversial issue in the church, and I'd like to explore that a little bit and see what kind of questions they're asking in the Methodist Church, and then use all these questions and try to predict, if possible, where the Methodist Church may be going in the future, because you have the ideas of one side of a Methodist Church is against homosexuals in the church and same-sex marriage. Then there is one side that says that's fine. So it'd be interesting to see if maybe there is a split in the Methodist Church, kind of like there was in the 1800s over slavery. So this would be an interesting thing to discuss and examine. I look forward to your questions, and I hope you have a nice day.